So we get set for this flyweight title fight. Fought over 5 minute rounds. Jose Tome, Maria Tome, not stopped moving since he entered the cage.
I don't think I've ever wanted a fight not to end early more than I want this fight. I want to see this fight go rounds. I'm great anticipation for what we're about to see.
The unorthodox striking of Jose Maria Tome as well. Already showing a few tricks, looking low, going high.
Front, sweeping towards the front leg with the rear. Then he came up top with the kick, and a little bit more of an orthodox roundhouse off the backside there to the lead leg of Tome from Askarov.
One of the amazing parts of the story of Askar Askarov is he was born almost completely deaf. He trains very hard. Still, I think it's 80% of his hearing is gone. So when he's in the cage, unlike other fighters where they've got the corner helping and advising, he can't hear them. He's overcome that adversity. He's dedicated himself to this sport, and he's now about to reach the highest level. If he can pull this off, this is one hell of a story from a young man where the odds were stacked against him from a very young age.
He's found a home for that inside thigh, the roundhouse. Tome made him pay for it a little bit there with the takedown, but there was really nothing lost as far as Askarov is not giving up anything, and right now his calm movement, deliberate, very efficient striking is paying off. He's landed probably about, what, 5 or 6 very effective inside leg kicks.
Well, one thing that's been very effective in his other fights and his 7 victories is his timing, his distance control. Knowing when to attack. When you've got a fighter, yeah, look at that. And when you've got a fighter, maybe in the MMA cage, who's 7 fights might not seem that many, to have that amount of experience, that fighter IQ, it's a huge asset for that to come naturally to somebody so young in their career.
And, I would say Tome is making a couple mistakes as far as his unorthodox striking. It's exciting to watch, but here he's in a 50-50 guard position, going for the heel hook.
Heel hook there.
Great job of Askarov turning around, facing it. But it's still inside danger zone there. His knees bent, and it's in a great position for Tome to be able to position himself in on that heel if he can get a good bite down on it with a grip.
Big punches coming from Askarov. Huge. Listen to the crowd's response to that takedown.
Askarov, or excuse me, Tome did a good job of sweeping and holding on to the, entwining the vine on the leg, so it wasn't a very high octane or high output throw. And now he's inside control, digging for that underhook, making an attempt for the head inside single, and you know, Askarov doing a great job of rotating and keeping on the back, and again, looks like he's gonna go for another back to Bally. Good sit out coming from Tome. And Askarov showing great composure. I mean, for a guy who's only had 7 fights, obviously his background in the other combat arts has really paid off. And here he's threatening the back, almost in a body triangle.
He's up against a very high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt as well.
Phenomenal showing so far on Askarov's part, and not from any lack of ability on Tome. He's threatening that choke, and now he can extend both hands over the shoulders and not keep a seatbelt type position because he does have the body triangled. And now he's switching over. He's got to be careful with his ankles crossed there, and he's identified it because there is a chance to go ahead and get caught in a heel hook, or excuse me, a foot lock.
Keeping active on the back of Tome. Keeping the shots coming in. That body triangle keeping good control of him though as well.
It is. Tome's going to try to get that arm over the top of his head and try to get his back to the mat. He's sitting forward. Again, he's holding on. It's hard to choke somebody that have one hand. So there he's positioned over his head. Now he's trying to slide his back to the mat, but the body triangle of Askar is keeping that from happening. So now he's going to go ahead and try to get to his knees and possibly then be able to break that figure 4 lock. He's now put it on the opposite side to the ground, and that makes it much harder and puts a lot of stress actually on Askarov's legs. Askarov's doing a phenomenal job of holding the body triangle and really attacking not only with strikes, but combinations of with submission chokes.
10 seconds left in this first round.
And there you see
great transitions there. Askarov in the blue shorts in the red corner. Jose Maria Tome in the blue corner with the black shorts. And those leg kicks, oh, and a high kick there thrown. But those leg kicks, you look at the unorthodox foot movement and the angles that Tome causes by that strange approach to striking. That's gonna impede that as well. And like you said, over 5 rounds, that will slow him down, make him easier to catch.
Absolutely, it's equivalent of just doing body work. You need your legs to be in the fight. You keep eating shin after shin right to that leg. It's going to hamper you.
Catches the leg and takes him down.
Right, forcing in the mount. Right now, Tome is trying to go ahead and lock up kind of a quarter half guard to pull him back over. Oh, those are illegal elbows because they're going from 12 to 6. Tome was able to position back into full guard, going in for the triangle attempt. Askarov just phenomenal ability to stop it, not only avoid the submission, but not just back out of it, you know. He stayed right on top, stayed forward pressure and heavy with his hips at the same time of avoiding the submission. That shows a very high level of grappling ability on his part.
You can just see years on the mats, can't you, from a young,
absolutely,
a young man just able to ride and roll with the momentum of the other fighter rather than, like you said, panic and try and escape, which opens up its own opportunities for Jose Maria.
I think Jose needs to start identifying, okay, what's causing him the greatest distress right now on his feet. I think one of the most successful things going on right now is that inside roundhouse, and he needs to eliminate that by either checking it, by turning the shin towards it so that they go shin to shin, which will cause a great discomfort in Askarov, and he's not going to want to throw that. But right now he's not. He's just taking it, and not only is it causing the damage, but it's completely throwing his stance off.
Another accidental eye poke there. But the referee calls them straight back together. Askarov certainly identifying that low leg kick again. It's causing damage.
And really, Askarov is having to do no adjustments to keep it going. He's, that can't become predictable, but at the same time, every time he's gone to that inside leg kick so far, the only reply early on in the first round, well, was he actually did that to Askarov, caught the foot and tried to take him down. Now Askarov was able to catch his foot through the punch and secured the takedown. Now he's got great side control position. He's driving the knee across to look for the mount. At the same time, Tome is trying to get the underhook, switch over, and he's transitioning to a kind of a body lock there. Switching down.
Yeah.
He is.
2 minutes left in this round. And already in round 2, you could see the movement slowing down for Jose Maria Tome.
Great wrist control. Really, this shot is being stopped not only in the hip position of Askarov, but also you can see how well he's controlling the hands and wrist control of Jose Tome. And he's not able to really secure and get his grips that he wants and handles. And no matter how deep you are, if you don't have a grip or a handle on your opponent, you can't secure the takedown.
Short exchanges from both fighters there, and both caught each other. Askarov closing the distance as he does in so many of his fights. Tome calling him on. Big right hand there.
Tome's loose, unorthodox style is just causing him to use a lot of energy to defend off. And right now, Askarov's much more classical, much more efficient. There's no wasted motion in what he's doing. And right now, it's the more effective style.
Picking his shots very nicely.
Great movement there in distance. He took a half step back, allowed the punch to swing by. Jose Tome is just having to work so much harder to accomplish anything he's going for. His style's just not as efficient. Askarov has a very beautiful, efficient, clean style. You you can see he's just not making mistakes. And every time Tome does anything, he makes him pay for it.
The patience this young man has is one of the key assets he shows, because look at him, he's not breathing heavy, he's fighting at his pace. He's making Tome overextend, make mistakes, and he's making him pay every single time.
He has not fallen for any of the tricks.
When you talk about that unorthodox style, it's not something you can prepare for in the gym either. You haven't got many sparring partners that will be able to mimic, imitate. So he is literally finding this out for the first time, and this is just proving what sort of high-level IQ he's got. Oh, he eats a straight jab there, but eats it without blinking an eye. But it shows the sort of the fighter IQ, the level he really is at, by the way he's coping with this unorthodox style, and a fighter with so much more experience than him in the cage.
And I think he's also learning Tome more. And as the fight goes on, you see that, you know, first round or two, he really was kind of moving and taking angles. And here, he's settling down more in the pocket. And I think that he's really figuring out some of the timing. And I really anticipate him to land even more devastating shots. I think he's getting more comfortable with the elusiveness and reads that he's seen from Tome. And you've noticed he's kind of abandoned the inside leg kick. He's feeling very comfortable with the punching, and he's looking to go ahead and land some better shots that he's already added. He's already landing.
And with one of those shots, he's caught a cut on the lower side of the left eye, just on the cheek of Tome.
You know, Tome just fights with his hands down, and his only hope is, I think, is he's has such an unorthodox offense, and he overruns a lot of opponents that it confuses them. And here is really needing to go ahead and maybe switch gears and find a different plan, because Askarov is not at all befuddled by the style that he sees in front of him, and he is surgically, again, just picking him apart and just winning more exchanges than he's losing.
When I talked to Tome yesterday about facing off with Askarov for the first time, he said he showed nothing in his eyes. He didn't show anything, but he said when he gets in the cage, he'll be able to break him, show him why he's no chance, and he's just not been able to do that. Askarov has had an answer for everything, and he's getting stronger as the fight goes on, and Tome has got less and less tricks to go to. That good body kick, though.
Nice little shot there, but for the most part, again, very efficient.
Tome with Askarov against the cage.
And again, great wrist control, hand control. He missed the wrist, went under for an underhook, was able to remove his hips from the cage and circle back out. And I feel the slower this fight paces down, it's even be more advantageous to Askarov to fight this style of fight, because Tome obviously relishes the offensive creativity that he has, and the less ability to be creative. The foundation as far as pure basics looks to be in the favor, and the edge goes to Askarov. So the more fatigue sets in and the more these guys have to rely upon pure technique and the basics, it's going to start weighting even more so in the favor of Askarov as this fight goes on.
1 minute 50 seconds left of this third round. If it gets through those, we'll be into the championship rounds.
The only mistake I can possibly see right now for Askarov is growing maybe too complacent and not seeing something. And Tome is a very good shape. And if something unorthodox comes exploding there, we have any lapse of mental focus and concentration coming on Askarov's side. But it doesn't appear that that's going to be the case. I don't see it happening. But you just see how razor sharp his focus is right now. His eyes, he's completely intent, and he's seeing everything that Tome is trying to do to him.
That inside leg kick, yet again causing damage, but that razor-sharp jab as well. Working off the back of that, you've picked up a few fighters tonight. Just having that, establishing that fundamental would have opened up so much more of their game and opportunities, and this is something he's working straight back from. That's exactly what you said, the basics, the fundamentals, and that's what's winning them this fight against a much more experienced, flashy fighter.
Absolutely. You see his jab and cross. He's very efficient. He's just, and he's getting more comfortable and getting closer and closer, and he's able to really understand the distance and range of Tome. And I'm not seeing that Tome is doing anything else. It seems like he's kind of just throwing things out there and seeing what sticks. I may be wrong, but I don't see him formulating a plan of trying to catch. It's more or less like, well, let me try this, let me try that, and hoping that the creativity and unorthodox maneuvers he's pulling off, that something sticks, where you see Askarov slowly working in, landing his jab, looking for when he can land the straight left hand, you know, and then following up with the hook whenever he sees an opportunity. But he's completely measuring and hunting down Tome right now.
Round four, the championship rounds. Tome coming out fast and hard with a leg kick and a spinning.
So he threw a spin shot, and once again, Askarov was able to nullify it, grab the body lock. And that could have been a much more high-octane throw. Tome was able to nullify it by wrapping the legs again, so that way there wasn't a lot of separation in the throw. And even though he did give up position and get taken down, he was able to salvage some of the disaster that could have occurred. Now he's working for a heel hook, or excuse me, a knee bar off of the roll. He's rolling up now into a turtle position. Oh, he's looking for the submission right there. Look how, Askarov's hand was switching over. He had to fight off a wizard right there.
Nice
off the body lock
as well. Made him meet an uppercut on the way in.
That was a beautiful transition there, guys. He went from an underhook cow catcher to stop the shot, Askarov did, and then immediately transitioned right to an uppercut. That just shows how great of a martial artist he is. He's flowing from different disciplines that he obviously trains, and guys have a hard time doing that. A lot of times in the gym, you're practicing just wrestling, or you're practicing just boxing, and to pull off that combination and have your brain move in that way just shows how flawlessly he's transitioning from one element to the next.
Fitness is a huge part of his camp as well, so he takes it very, very seriously. A major part, focuses on that. He feels like he's got the fundamentals. He's fought many times before in different disciplines. Makes CrossFit one of the primary ways he grows his cardio. And you can see here he fights at his own pace. He doesn't look out of breath.
Nice jabs.
Got power in the jab as well.
He was able to really sit down on that rear leg, and you see how by pushing the jab, he was turning the hips, trying to, he could turn them more if he would like to, but that's as comfortable with his style. He's stepping forward, so his weight's behind those stiff jabs, and he's able to pull back out and avoid any of the onslaught. There you see he threw the jab, he pulled his head back, allowing whatever kind of counter was going to come from Tome, and then he answered back again with a straight left hand.
Seen a few uppercuts from him. Maybe that's something the corner has identified as a potential money shot for him on the entries from Tome. Tome now waiting for Askarov to go first. Nice hard left, straight left down the hole. There we go. Nice jab as well from Tome.
Speakly, you know, I mean, to put it simply, the simpler moves that take less energy and more efficient, Askarov is winning. He's winning the jab exchanges, the simple roundhouse kicks inside the leg.
Well, you look at the two strikes that Tome tried to throw there, one spinning back fist and one Superman punch. Yet you look at the 1-2s, the straight jab of Askarov.
Yeah. And Askarov, just every time, you know, Tome makes a mistake, he suctions in and just takes advantage of it. There again, Tome trying to throw an unorthodox spin move, and Askarov was able to take his back, and now he's transitioning over to side control. Has the underhook.
Tome working hard to try and get guard back, and he regains it there. Might see Askarov let him stand back up here. Got to watch those up kicks.
Nice little transition there also for Tome. Again, see, the high energy creative moves, which is very favorable for the fans to watch. But as far as just pure lines on what's efficient, Askarov understands the jab, understands the cross. I mean, he puts his body behind it a little too much as far as leans in and reaches over his knee a little bit. And that's why a couple times he's taken a little bit of some hooks afterwards from Tome. He doesn't have a traditional clean straight left hand where he rotates the hip and pivots and keeps his chin behind his knee. He kind of extends forward a little bit and touches, but his understanding of range and application of the technique is at such a high level that it affords him to be able to get away from that and recover more so than maybe other people would making that mistake.
We hear the 10 seconds clacker for the end.
Rounds leading up into the 5th round. Rounds 1 through 4 are all in favor of Askarov, and so unless we see some kind of knockout or submission here, the title's going to Askarov. He just has to make sure that he keeps doing what he's doing. There's really no advice as a cornerman, and I'd be like, hey, be safe, stay within yourself, keep doing it. On the other end, Tome, go for broke. Winning a decision is not going to happen for him.
Big looping hooks as well. You can see he's doing exactly that, going for broke. Nice body kick as well. Follows it up with another one. Tome baiting him on, but Askarov not. Oh, he gets caught twice there.
Great conditioning. Both guys, and neither one of these guys looks fatigued at all, and they have been fighting hard. Askarov locking up that guillotine.
The standing it, doesn't quite have it under the chin, and Tome turns.
Was able to turn his head to the proper side and roll out by putting his shoulders forward. Now he's locked up on a head inside single. And honestly, if I was him, I would just dump the shot and go back out and look to go ahead and land that home run.
Maybe even throw on the break.
He either has to jump for something, reach, make it a more of a catch wrestling type of sacrifice type submission attempts, or start looking for some kind of way to land a shot that's going to decisively hurt Askarov so he may be able to go in for the finish. He is, but I mean, there's still nothing wrong with setting the shots up.
Yeah.
You know, Askarov is too an accomplished of a fighter to really get caught with anything without being set up, and he just needs to, in the short amount of time, I mean, which is really a high task to ask the guy for. In 20 minutes, he really hasn't established any way of,
oh, he drops him there as he comes in with a nice uppercut, again, the uppercut from the right hand.
Guillotine attempt.
Looking at this,
look, anaconda choke.
Looking like this would be huge if he can submit this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he taps, and he is the flyweight champion of the world. Oh my goodness, what a story.
Was he tapping or punching the ribs?
Tapping.
Okay.
That was very clear tap, he had it in tight. What a performance.
What a stamp, right? I don't think you could have had a much, how could you have been any more impressive than that? Won every minute of every round and then finishes the fight off in the 5th. That is a talent right there in Askarov. That was a very dangerous flyweight.
What an amazing story. You can see exactly what it means, and we'll see the finish here. He locked that up so tight, and we might be able to see here from the angle.
Oh yeah, it's an absolute, he's tapping. Absolutely, no doubt in his.
So not only does he perform so well on the feet, to take the victory of a high-level Brazilian black belt like that with a finish, a beautiful anaconda choke. You are staring at not just the talent, but the new flyweight ACB champion, Askarov.
What an impressive performance. And there's no shame in Jose Tome. What he does very well, and he brought it. He was prepared, in very good shape. He just ran into Askarov, who was just a machine. The guy just very clinical, broke it down, used all the essence of mixed martial arts, the simple aspects of everything. Nothing fancy, nothing complex. Stayed composed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie, 1 minute and 56 seconds of round number 5. Удушающий прием. Одержал победу и, оставаясь не знающим поражений, стал новым чемпионом лиги ACB на величайшем весе. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by submission and still on the